Hey guys, in the previous video we added JUnit 5 as a dependency to our project, and that means now we can easily run our test from IntelliJ, no problem. But when we try to run a test from the command line and when we did Maven clean test, you will see in a moment that it says it could not run any test. Test runs is 0. So in this video we are going to fix this. So the goal of this video is to have some capabilities for us to be able to run tests from the command line, and in the process we will show different types of dependencies that can be added into the POM file. And the objective is to add Maven surefire dependency to our project. And basically in the next video then we will try to cover some reporting Maven dependencies. So let's just go to internet, and if you search for Maven plugins, not logo, Maven plugins. If I open this link from Apache, it tells us that Maven has two kind of plugins, basically build plugins and reporting plugins, and it shows us like what are its core plugins. If you have a look at these core plugins, the one that we are interested in is the surefire plugin. It says run the JUnit unit test in an isolated class loader, right? So if you open this one, you can get more details about Maven surefire plugin. I will put this link in the description of the video so you can go through it, whenever you have time. But for now, the thing that we're interested in is to get Maven surefire plugin dependency, right? And if I click on Maven repository, let's click on this. Let's pick the latest version, which is, by the way, from June 2020. So they have not done much work in the last 2 years. And if we copy this dependency, if you go back to POM file, the question is, where do you add it? If I add it inside dependency, it would be wrong. Why would it be wrong? Because, well, dependencies section contains the dependencies that we need for the project, like inside the project. But in this case, there's something that we don't want inside the project, but we want this capability outside the project to run the project, right? And that's where probably, if I go back to the article, and if you look at this page that we opened, it says Maven is at its heart a plugin execution framework. All work is done by plugins. This page lists the core plugins and others. And then it says build plugins will be executed during the build, and they should be configured in the build element in the POM. So not inside the dependencies, but inside the build plugin. Reporting plugins will be executed during the site generation, and they should be configured in the reporting element from the POM, because the result of a reporting plugin is part of the generated site, right? So if you want to understand what is the difference between build plugins and reporting plugins versus dependencies plugin, I would say just do a simple Google search. Difference between adding it as dependency or as a build plugin, and there's a very nice Slack Overflow article on this. Again, I will put the link of this article in the description. And if you go through the answers, well, the most rated answer is not the best answer, but if you, for example, look at this answer, it tells you Maven itself can be described as a food process, which is many different units that can be used to accomplish different tasks. Those units are called plugins. For example, compiler plugin, surefire plugin. And even lesser voted article gives you the best of the explanation. So for example, it says plugin perform tasks for a Maven build. These are not packaged inside the application, right? That's like at the high level. And then it explains you that the dependencies are Maven artifacts, components which are required for the project, right? And to give you a real life demo, now we have added this plugin as a part of our dependencies. Let's load it. And if I load it right now, it will not work, because now we have made it as a part of the project and not outside the project. So now if I do Maven clean test again, you will see that it will still do nothing. You see, like still test run is 0. So what we really want is what this article is telling us, which is to add this as a part of build plugin, like as a build element, and not as a part of dependencies. So let's go back and let's add another element, which is build, and let's add plugins, and here we want to add this plugin. So let's Control X, remove all these extra lines and put this here. And inside the plugins, you don't add it as a dependency, but you add it as a plugin. Now I don't know why Maven provides it as a dependency and why not directly give it as a plugin. Maybe there are use cases where it makes sense. I'm not aware of that. But now if you make it plugin, and if you again reload project, so if you're adding it for the first time, this value will be red. Now, since I already have these plugins in as a part of other projects, it's not showing as red. Let's also do the same thing. So after Maven, let's add Maven surefire plugin. Let's copy this here. Maven surefire plugin, and let's put this one here, and in fact add $Maven surefire plugin, right? And if I now do a Maven clean test, it should be able to run my project, run the test. Let's see. That's it. You see it ran to test, and there are no failures, no errors, and everything works fine. And if you go back to the article, let's just fill the gap here. The reporting kind of plugin is something that we will cover in the next video, because at this moment, if you see, even though we have our test results visible inside IntelliJ, I think if you go to target, if you go to surefire reports, you will have some very basic test results, something like this, which is what you see here, which is in a text format. You do get an XML report, which can be parsed by some CI platforms, but you still don't have, for example, a human readable HTML report, which is what we're going to cover in the next video. So that's it for now. If you like this video, well, press the like button, and I'll be happy to see you guys again in another video. See you. Cheers. Bye-bye.